St. Kitts and Nevis records economic growth, and in sport, the West Indies under-19s begin their World Cup preparation. I'm Ricardo Robertson. This is Caribbean in 10 for Thursday, December 13. I'll be back with the details after the break. The St. Kitts Nevis government is reporting 2.1% economic growth last year. Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris made the disclosure in his budget presentation yesterday, saying the Twin Island Federation continues to demonstrate resilience amidst prevailing downside risks in the international and regional economic environment. He said GDP had increased by 2.1%, which is on par with growth rate of the 2.3% recorded by advanced economies. It also surpassed the economic output of Eastern Caribbean Currency Union member states of 1.3% for the same period. Harris said expansions in the agriculture, transport, storage, and communication and construction sectors contributed to the growth. He told legislators the manufacturing sector also rebounded during the first 6 months of 2018, recording an expansion in economic activity of 3.7% after declining by 10% during the same period in 2017. The Central America and Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Program, the CACRIP, has received its biggest contribution from a single donor. It has come from the German government. The World Bank said yesterday it has signed an agreement with the German government-owned development bank, KfW, for a €15 million contribution to be executed under CACRIP. Now, the Washington-based financial institution said the engagement is part of efforts by donors and the international community to address increasing disaster risks by supporting insurance mechanisms that provide rapid payouts to countries in the aftermath of a disaster. The Guyana government says it's monitoring developments in Venezuela after two Tu-160 supersonic bombers known as White Swans landed at Maiqueta Airport near the capital, Caracas, on Monday. The development came days after Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro held talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow. The United States has been critical of the Maduro-led government in the South American oil-rich country and has openly called for its removal from office. Guyana has an ongoing border dispute with Venezuela that is likely to go before the International Court of Justice. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs said it has been approached with regards to reports of the deployment the supersonic bombers in the neighboring country. It said it's monitoring the ongoing developments, but noted that military exercises are a regular feature of state relations and do not themselves constitute a threat. And notwithstanding the border controversy, Georgetown remains open to pursuing meaningful, functional cooperation with Venezuela whenever that opportunity arises. Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley is accusing the opposition of attempting to possibly sabotage the government's gas agreement with Venezuela. He made the comment in Parliament when asked about the surety of Venezuela honoring the agreement in light of opposition or opposing factors in that country. Rowley told the House that he's more concerned about the opposition's interference. We get more in this CNC3 News report.
After almost 2 years of negotiations, a lucrative gas deal between Venezuela and this country was finalized in the last quarter of 2018. But the Prime Minister is warning of sinister moves.
I'm aware, Madam Speaker, that members of this opposition in Trinidad and Tobago have been trying to get members of the opposition in Venezuela to oppose this matter.
The revelation came during Prime Minister's questions time in the Parliament, when the opposition dared to ask whether the government was confident about the agreement given opposition voices in Venezuela. But the PM noted that only after successful negotiations with this country, one Venezuelan opposition member would come to our shores to say the agreement may not be honored.
The only place where this kind of talk is present and in vogue is in Trinidad and Tobago, where the opposition in Trinidad and Tobago is trying to get the Venezuelan opposition to torpedo an agreement between the government of Trinidad and Tobago and the government of Venezuela for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and there's a name for that.
But there was swift denial of the accusation.
I would misstate categorically. We are not engaged with the...
And the opposition wanted more answers.
Could the Prime Minister indicate to this Honourable House the identity of members of the opposition who he's aware of are trying to undermine the agreement between the government of Trinidad and Tobago and Venezuela among opposition members in Venezuela?
Normally we handle this by saying, call name, I go whistle. But Madam Speaker, my colleague from our approach east could assist us and the country by telling us who brought that opposition member here to come and talk that talk in Trinidad and Tobago.
And stay with us, your Midday Sport is next.
Next time on Coalition Corner, financing the response.
It is no surprise that, as you mentioned, about 75% regionally of the expenditure for the HIV response is from external sources.
But what will happen when external funds dry up?
The Global Fund or other multilaterals aren't just jumping up and leaving. To a large degree, many countries received adequate notice.
The question for us, where does the responsibility lie?
Don't miss the next Coalition Corner.
So here's what you're going to need for the Christmas rice or the festive rice. I have some boiled rice. This rice has been boiled between mushy and hard. I also have some green and red sweet peppers or bell peppers. And the reason why I'm using red and green is because it's Christmas, so we want those festive colors. I'm also using some cranberries in place of the raisin. So I have some walnuts and some cashews here. My mom actually adds just cashews, but I love walnuts, so I'm going to add some walnuts.
West Indies under-19 cricketers begin a one-week high-performance camp today as they start preparations for the 2020 Under-19 Cricket World Cup. They will be working under the guidance of head coach Graham West and his assistant Roddy Eswick at the Coolidge Cricket Ground in Antigua. Now, during the camp, they will also engage in interactive sessions with West Indies cricket great Sir Curtly Ambrose in a bid to boost their chances of victory in the limited overs tournament. West said this is a first step of a journey that will take the players through to the Under-19s World Cup. He has been head coach for the last two ICC Under-19 World Cups and was the man at the helm when the Windies won the title in Bangladesh 2 years ago. And round two clashes of the regional four-day game bowls off today with the Leeward Islands Hurricanes facing defending champions Guyana Jaguars at the Vivian Richards Cricket Ground. Both teams enter the contest with confidence, having won their opening matches of the season, and we'll get all the details of that story and more in our major newscast at 6:30. That's Caribbean in 10. Good afternoon.